you know, I know that drugs are not worth your children. My kids are everything.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're in San Bernardino, California, with a former guest, Kenia. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's been a while, Kenia.
Yes.
We're gonna get into all that. First of all, do you give us permission to use this video on our YouTube channel?
Yes.
And other social media?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kenia, when was the last time I saw you? Was that in July last year?
Yes, July.
Yeah, you were out in Hemet, California?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what are you doing in San Bernardino?
I moved out here in San Bernardino after, I was staying in my car in Hemet. I was able to stay at a friend's house, and I moved in with him, and I just started like living out here in San Bernardino for about a year.
So you still staying in Hemet?
I went back to Hemet because like after a year of being with my ex-boyfriend, things just didn't go well, you know, and I had to leave. And I started staying with a family member that they allowed me to stay with them and you know, get my life together and you know, just start getting a job and just going the right path.
And remind us again, you have an open case with CPS or is it closed?
No, my CPS closed.
Okay, you have 5 beautiful kids. I already met them.
Yes.
And all from one dad?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you've got some great kids. Very well-mannered.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How did you manage to keep them so, you know, well-mannered and positive, and you know they're doing good in school and everything? How did you keep them like? How did you raise them like that?
The way I discipline my kids is I don't hit them. I talk to them with nothing but the truth, like, you know, about like this world and like, you know, I know there's kids, but I feel like I should let them know about like this life, you know, so they could know, like, you know, and so that's how they just pay attention to me, and we have a really good connection. Like, we just understand each other, and that's how they just, you know, like, and basically me too. I'm a very positive person. Like, I even if we're going through the most like worst things, like I always try to stay positive and just happy, like because even if, like, you know, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be having to be going through good things for you to be happy. It's even through the bad things that we should still love each other and support each other and be there for one another, you know. And I teach them that a lot, especially because, like, I don't really, like, I have family, but we're not really that close, so I just want them to always be close with each other and have each other, you know?
Okay. All right, let's talk about that. So we did the video last July or so, and then it was a pretty popular video. I got a lot of calls from your family members to take it down.
Yes.
And you also asked me to take it down at one time, so tell us why you wanted to take it down.
Okay, so the family member, it was like, you know, it wasn't like my real family member, but it's an in-law, you know. So I talked about something very delicate, you know, that had to do with my sister, and at the moment I didn't realize like what I was talking about. I was basically just thinking about like our childhood. So it didn't hit me until I seen the video, like, you know, that it wasn't something for me to discuss. It's something that my sister should be able to discuss. So I do apologize that to her, you know, and I talked to my sister. We're at good terms now, and she just, you know, it was just that part that I shouldn't have spoke about. But I was just trying to talk about my stepdad, what he did to us and stuff. Yeah. And then my mom, to this day I still don't talk to my mom over the video, and but she just made bad decisions. That was it, and it's not nothing to be mad at her about, because people make mistakes all the time, like, you know.
So she was upset and she hasn't talked to you since?
Yeah, she hasn't talked to me since.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because she feels bad for what happened?
I believe so, and to be honest, I believe that. I wish I knew more. I wish I knew like why, but she just said that I'm not like her kid no more thanks to that video. Like I mean, I wouldn't want nobody to go and say things like, you know, about me either. So I understand her, but I wasn't really trying to talk about my mom. I was trying to talk about things that I've been holding in all my life, because I never even spoke to anyone about that. And that day, it just felt like the more I was talking about it, like it just kept coming out, and it just felt relief, like, because I've been holding it in for so long. But I didn't mean nothing towards my mom or for anybody to be judging her or saying anything like about her, because she was a very good mom. Like, she loved us like very, very much.
Okay, so she was a good mom.
Yeah.
And tell me more about, you said it was a relief, so you're grateful that you did the video then?
I really am, even though it caused some problems. I felt like I could breathe, like I could finally breathe, because I've always held it in. It's very hard for me to like tell people like things that I go through. I keep things to myself. So when I was having that video, and I was like, you were asking me questions and I was talking about it, it felt really good, and I feel like I needed to do that a long time ago. And still, I don't regret talking about what I did, because it probably could have helped other people too, like, that have probably been in my situation.
I know I asked you this in the video, but if a child is being abused like you were, and they're scared to tell somebody, what's your advice to them? Think back to when you were a little kid. What have you done differently?
Okay, so I would say that it's not their fault. Like, they're just a kid. Like, like, even if it's an ugly situation, and it feels it's because it's so ugly, it makes you feel like guilty, or it's not. You need to speak about it, because like it will stop all that. Like, it wouldn't. With us, it went for so long because we wouldn't speak about it, and it will destroy your, like, to be honest, I'm just glad I'm a positive person, because I feel like if I wasn't, it would have probably destroyed me. But I just try to stick to the positive side. But other people that don't speak about it, I think that they should, because it could really help them out a lot, and it could put those people away that were doing bad things, and maybe it will stop from another person, that happening to other people.
Yeah.
Like, because I wonder, like, a lot, like, if he did that to anybody else, or like, since we didn't speak about it.
Tell me about your CPS case in the past. Why did your kids get taken away?
So at the time we moved to Hemet, and we were staying in an apartment, and there was this manager there that she was just like, she was my friend, but she became really hateful towards me, like kind of like jealous. So she ended up kicking me and my grandma and my sister out of our apartment. Well, she told them that if they needed to kick me out, or they had to all leave. So since my family seen that there was no reason, because we paid rent, we were good tenants, it was just like her being hateful towards me, like, because her husband would always stare at me and stuff. So we got kicked out, and we all went our separate ways, and I ended up staying at a friend's house. And where I was staying at, I was just renting a room, and she had a lot of people coming in and out the house, and I don't know what was going on in the house, to be honest. I just rented there, but it didn't look good from the outside, like, because I would see it too. But that the CPS workers came to our house, and they gave me the chance to be able to. They told me if I find somewhere to go with my kids, then I wouldn't get them taken away. But I had like 10 days to do that, and I really don't have no family. So by the time they came back again, I was still there. So they took me and my friend's kids away. And at the time, I was in drugs too. So I told them about it. I didn't know that there was programs and stuff. So I'm actually really thankful that they came into my life, because they taught me a lot of stuff. Like, they taught me that there's rehab, that there's sober livings, that there's there's ways to get help. And so then I started, just doing everything they asked me to, and eventually, I got my kids back.
Okay, so you had a positive experience with CPS, huh?
Yes.
One of the first times I've heard that.
I really do. I even went to go see my counselor like 2 days ago with me and my kids, because I really love her too. She really helped me a lot, and taught me a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't know that there could be help,
What's the process of getting your kids back when you get busted for, say, drugs? What did you have to do?
Oh, I was in the moms program, so I had to just take the moms, and then I had to take trauma, and then the what is that called? It's parenting.
Okay, you take parenting, and then after that, you were able to reunify with your children?
Yes.
Okay, and then you stopped using drugs?
Yes.
When did you stop?
I stopped, what year was it? 2019. I had a few I had like during the case, I did mess up like 2 times. And then after they told me that if I messed up again, that I would lose my kids for good, then I just did, just like the judge said, I did a whole 360, and I just know that drugs were not, that they're not that important like my kids. Like, I know that if I wouldn't have had them, I would have, sorry.
That's okay.
I just get, but like, I know that drugs are not worth your children. My kids are everything. So that's what I did. I just focused, and I just stayed to myself. I cut everybody off, and I was like on a mission, and I just been, with my kids since, and I would never do anything to jeopardize that again.
Remind us how old your children are?
So I have a 15-year-old, I have a 14-year-old, 13, and then 11, and then my 9-year-old son that's gonna be 10 pretty soon.
So you're determined to stay clean, huh?
Yes.
All right. When you do slip up, what's the reason?
I think it has a lot to do with my emotions. Basically, I thought that drugs numb your, you know, like your pain and all that, but it doesn't. It makes it worse. And so I had to learn that, you know, the hard way, but I get it now, like that it's not even worth it.
What's your advice to someone that's struggling with drugs, and they have kids out there in, you know, CPS custody? What's your advice to them?
That it's not worth it, and no one's gonna love your kids like you. Like, no one's gonna, even if they have like a big house and they have everything, like it's nothing like their own mother's love. Like, and even my kids told me like, Mom, I don't care, we're in a little room with a bed and we're all squished together. I want to be with you. Like, and they were staying in, because I even felt sometime in my life, like when they're in foster care, like, oh my God, what if they're better off with them because they have more things to offer than I do? And I started feeling that way because I started seeing how like good they were having it, but my kids like made me realize that it didn't matter how much they had, that it was me they wanted to be with. So it's you know, you that the kids want, and you can't give up on them.
So you're out here in the San Bernardino for why? Just to visit friends?
Yeah, because so we were staying out here for a year, and my kids got really attached to all their friends. Like, they liked the city like really much. It's different than Hemet. Like in Hemet, the kids out there were more like bullies, more like about how they dress, if they have new shoes. And out here, it's just like the way I grew up. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of shoes you have, or you don't have to have name brand. It's like, it's just nothing but love. Yeah. So then I come out here on the weekends when they're not in school, and bring them to visit their friends and the moms too, because the moms are really attached to my children. They said that they're very good kids and well behaved, and they're very loving kids, and they, you know, they make the whole room glow up.
They are very loving kids.
Thank you.
So what's your plans for this weekend?
Just to come to visit the kids and go to the park, and then, you know, out to eat, and then just go back home to
okay.
To where I'm staying.
Do you tell the children about the dangers of drugs?
Yes, I tell them everything. I even myself, like I told them like about my situation. You know, it was so hard for me to tell them, but they were getting older, and they're not dumb. They know. Yeah. So I just told them that. I told them basically of what I've been through, and then their father too, because their father's still, you know, out there, and I just, you know, I make sure I let them know that, so they're like very scared of that, and they're very open with me too, and so then like we just have a really good connection, and they know, like, they're very smart kids. Okay,
how do you support your children?
Right now I just through the welfare, but I'm looking for a job. I'm gonna get my whole birth certificate taken care of pretty soon. I'm just waiting on some money I'm gonna be getting.
Okay.
And so I can start working, because
yeah. What kind of skills do you have?
I'm very good like at community like service, like, you know, like dealing with people. I'm very like nice, and I basically treat people like the way they would want to be treated, you know. Okay. Like, so, and I'm very like smiling, and I'm very fast. Like, I can multitask a lot, like, and I can also get my hands dirty. So I'm basically I feel like I could do anything.
Remind us what your email was, in case someone wanted to help you out.
It's tkenia805@gmail.com.
Hey, so can I have another interview in a few weeks?
Yes, of course.
I wanted to get into your experience with your YouTube video and all the comments you had. And I don't want to get into it right now. We're doing the second video because I know your kids are hungry, and we helped you out with a hotel room tonight.
Yes.
I'm gonna get you some food. Was there a message that stands out, that some positive message, or did anyone contact you and try to help you out?
What did stand out to me is that I read a lot of messages where people actually, I don't know if they went through the same thing, but they said watching that video made them like feel good, like it did something to them, which that's why I was okay to do another video, because that's, if anything positive can happen to somebody, then, and I'm all for it.
I'm sure it touched many people in a positive way.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Kenia.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you in a few weeks, hopefully.
Okay.